Hey guys, Dr. Castillo here. This is going to be a video on why I teach Spanish to chiropractors. This is a little bit of a rant, maybe longer video, so I would recommend maybe watching it while you're driving somewhere, just so you can kind of listen. Listen and really feel kind of what I'm saying, because I went back and forth for a long time, whether even to teach this stuff for a variety of reasons. I mean, I thought, man, I've gone through so much and I've learned it. If I start teaching other chiropractors, is that going to mean more competition for me? And I thought to myself, nah, probably not. But I went back and forth. That's one of the main reasons. But I'll kind of start at the beginning, kind of where I came from, kind of the middle part of when I started to feel like, oh, I think I can do this. And then now onto the journey of our mission, I should say, of spreading Spanish into the chiropractic curriculum. Hopefully they actually start making cultural classes. That would be very disruptive, I feel, to the whole medical profession, which I think is one of the primary reasons why I am teaching Spanish to chiropractors, is to disrupt our medical model that exists here in the United States. So at the beginning, I started as an associate doctor at a clinic where primarily it was Spanish. So I learned pretty early on, that I had to learn Spanish so that I could understand the patients that were coming through the door. And it was a lot of pressure for me because I wasn't able to speak it that well. And so I had to learn kind of on the fly and translate my day one, translate my day two, learn just how people talk. Because when you learn Spanish, like in high school, you learn basic Spanish, but you don't really learn like good conversational Spanish. You learn like how to tell the colors or count to 100, like that's just not gonna cut it when it comes to speaking Spanish in a chiropractic setting as a professional doctor. So I remember struggling. I remember trying to find apps like Duolingo or Rosetta Stone. I remember even paying people to teach me lessons in Spanish so that I could better my Spanish in the chiropractic clinic. And I kid you not, like I remember calling like HR. Actually, I emailed them for one of the apps that I paid for. And I was like, where are your medical programs? Where can I learn how to be a better chiropractor? And they told me, we don't have anything. And I remember buying Rosetta Stone, and I kid you not, like I remember it clear as day because there were CDs. I had to put it in the computer, and the first module was landscaping. And I remember thinking to myself, like, this is not gonna help me right now. And I remember being really frustrated because I was looking for kind of like a done for you type of materials that had been done for chiropractors, and it had never been done. And so I had to do it myself. It was very uncomfortable and very embarrassing at times. I was criticized in some instances for saying things wrong. Some people didn't trust me very much, but sooner or later I started to really figure it out. And I got to a point where there were other doctors in the clinic that were hired because our clinic grew. And so I was able to kind of teach my flow, teach my Spanish to them so that they could just get through the day, get through their day one, get through their day two, learn how to table talk, learn how to talk to people while they're on the table. So you can kind of guide them, hey, how are you doing? Let's have you go face down, face up, that type of basic stuff. It doesn't have to be over the top. And sooner or later, I started to realize, like, wait, this could be bigger. I could make this way bigger. And I started to really think big picture, because not looking from a statistics standpoint, like from a population statistics standpoint, I had started to kind of realize that there are more Spanish speakers coming to the United States for obvious reasons. Better job opportunities, maybe the country that they're in, bad living arrangements, or maybe they just want new opportunities, and they've seen other people do it. So they're coming over here, they're getting their citizenship, Some of them they're on visas. And regardless of what that is, they have goods and services that they need. They need to be able to get goods, like groceries, buy a car, buy a house, go to the hospital, have a doctor, be able to access all goods and services. And the trends are going like this: less English speakers, more culture is coming to the United States. And so I was thinking, well, where can chiropractic fit with this? And how can we help Spanish speakers? And first of all, why? Why even help the Spanish speaking population was one of the first questions that I asked. And I thought to myself, this is interesting, because I have people that come in and they tell me their life stories. They tell me what they do for a living. They tell me how many hours they work. They tell me who they live with, where their family's from. Sometimes people come here just to work and their family lives in a completely different area. But because they know of the job opportunities in the area, they work for their family. They work for their generation and their generations to come. And I'm not trying to stereotype, I'm not generalizing. There's some Spanish speakers that come in very successful. Very successful. They own businesses, they own properties, they do construction, and some of them just starting out, just starting out from square one, which is fine either way. It doesn't matter. What matters is why they're here. And I've never met, well, I'll take that back. Sometimes the Spanish speaking kids, young kids, they don't quite get it. They don't get like the struggles that their parents went through to get to where they're at. But as far as like the adults and the youth, 20, 30-year-olds, like they're here because they want to be here and they want to learn English. They want to learn the system. They want opportunities. They want success. And it is just such a joy being able to bridge that gap, to get people to where they want to. I've had people ask me, I know this is kind of a rant, but like I've had people ask me like, hey, can you help me with my phone bill? I'm confused. Or, hey, can you help me fill out this Social Security work? I've had so many requests, and I try to do everything I can so that people can get the help that they need. It doesn't matter if they speak English or not, or English or Spanish, whoever the patient is. That's my mantra, you could say. But when Spanish speakers are coming into the United States and they want to work here and they want to be here, it just makes sense. I mean, think about it. Like, if you have a more productive workforce and a healthier workforce, people that want to be here, not only does it help them and their families, but it helps the entire economy. So that's kind of an odd thought. That's number one. Number two, talking to Spanish speakers all the time about what they do for their musculoskeletal complaints, right? Stuff that chiropractor helps with, chiropractic. 9 times out of 10, they're already going to see somebody that does muscle work or skeletal work or some sort of manipulation. And these people usually work out of their homes. And so I'm thinking, that's interesting. They already prefer the natural way in regards to, we'll say, low back pain. They already prefer actually getting to the cause of the problem and doing something that fixes things, versus just going to the doctor and they know exactly what they're gonna get. They're gonna get drugs, pain medications. And that doesn't do anything, especially when they want to get back to work or get back to whatever they want to do. And I started to connect the dots, because think about it. If you have a population that's growing, they love the natural part of healthcare, right? Most English-speaking Caucasian people will try to go maybe to their general doctor or take some pain medications, maybe get a massage, but they're not going to go chiropractic. Statistically speaking, 10 to 20% of people use chiropractic regularly. I would guess, if they actually had an accurate estimate, that maybe 40, 50, 60% of Spanish speakers will prefer chiropractors as a first line of defense. And I think if chiropractors knew that, they would disrupt the medical community. I truly think so. Because if you have more people using a certain good or service, people catch on. Like, let's say, and this is kind of a crazy example, but let's say you're like a grocery store and you have conventional vegetables and organic vegetables. Let's just say you don't even carry organic, okay? Now you have a bunch of conventional vegetables, fruits, that type of thing. And then let's say a Netflix show comes out, starts talking about Monsanto, starts talking about all the pesticides and all of the causes of pesticides when you consume them and how it can lead to cancer, which is a totally real thing. People know this. But let's say that just came out and it went viral. And all of a sudden people are like, I'm never gonna buy conventional vegetables ever again. If that were to happen, people would go to farms that are growing this produce and ask for organic produce. I would assume that people would start to do it, you know, not everybody, but people would start to. And then all of a sudden grocery stores would see a decline in their conventional produce sales. And they'd be going, well, what's going on? And then let's say they did like a survey and they surveyed all the people in the grocery store and they're like, what can we improve in our produce section? And everybody's just like, organic, organic, organic. That grocery store would catch on and they would go, maybe we should invest. Maybe we should invest in organic produce instead of our commercial or conventional produce and see what happens. And they'd watch their sales go up. Why? Because the people chose something different. Because they're following what the consumer wants, right? So let's draw that back to chiropractic. If you have people that want chiropractic, let's say you take a poll of 100 people. Let's say you have 100 English speakers and 100 Spanish speakers. You take a poll of the English speakers. Let's say 15 people, they're on board. They want it. The other 85, they're like, chiropractic, does that even work? And then you got the Spanish speakers, 100 of them. I bet 60 to 70. We'll just be daring like that. We'll say 60. 60 are on board. So what does that mean? That means if we as chiropractors just take time out of our day to learn Spanish and educate the Spanish-speaking community on what chiropractic is, how it can help them and their families learn the language, hire Spanish-speaking people in the clinic, right, to be able to connect to that community that actually wants to be in the chiropractic clinic. They agree with it. They're open to it, right? It's a part of the culture. Why wouldn't you do that if you're a chiropractor? Now I get it, like some people might not want to ever do that, but I thought to myself, geez, you know, we could bring chiropractic to the masses faster by reaching Spanish speakers. Not that I ignore English speakers, I just focus more of my time and energy on perfecting my Spanish, growing my influence in the Spanish-speaking community versus English-speaking community. So I know that's kind of biased, maybe, but that's one of the reasons, I would say that's probably the primary reason why I really wanted to start doing these materials, is to absolutely disrupt the medical profession, absolutely. Because if more people are using chiropractic, less people are using drugs and surgery, they're focusing on preventing their problems from happening. Not only does it save money in the economy on like hospital bills or just medical bills in general, but it's going to allow it's going to allow the nation to shift more resources from wasting money on drugs and surgery, and they'll be able to put that money towards other places. That's totally random, I know, but like from a grand scale of things, if people are smarter with their health, being more proactive and putting their money and resources to something that's going to actually add value and longevity to their lives, like living well, not just existing, you know, and surviving, like living well, like really thriving, I feel like it would make an impact on our states, our communities, our regions, the whole entire United States and beyond, you know? So I know that was kind of long-winded, but that's one of the reasons why I continue to make content in this area where chiropractors can just learn tidbits on how they can sharpen their Spanish skills, perfect their day 1, day 2, and that's exactly what I'm out to do. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that and get a little glimpse on why I do what I do, and you have a blessed day.